Are we live, my friend? Welcome back to the Convo Couch, everyone. Pasta Jardula here.
Jonny Tsunami here on the couch.
On the couch, not on the ones and twos. On the ones and twos is actually our good friend Oz hanging out in the state of Greater Washington. How does it feel, man? Does it feel nice and comfortable?
It does feel comfortable. The couch is really comfy. Yeah, I mean, I feel good. Let's do it. We're trying new things here. We're trying to expand. We're always trying to grow. And
yeah,
let's do it, brother.
That's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to get bigger. You're going to see a lot more of Jonny on the couch. We're going to mix it up, match it up. There's a lot of things we got to cover, a lot of places we got to go, a lot of work to be done. So we're going to expand our horizons over here at the Convo Couch. So this is our first show together. I'm glad we both wore blue for the audience, as you can see. This tone blue, my tone blue. But let's get started. Let's get the first one rocking, and let's get it in the books today, my man. So over the weekend, we were talking this whole time. We had this fights going on. Last week, we had the Jake Paul fight. This week, we had the fight between Usman and Masvidal in Jacksonville, opened up for business in Florida, big crowds. Here we go. Also, the fight of Zhang Weili. She was fighting again against Rose Namajunas. I can't even say her name, right? The Lithuanian fighter.
Yes.
It was a rematch. Remember, we watched the fight? It was like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. They were just going at it.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So we were paying attention, waiting for this fight to happen. Not going to say that we're going to rent it out, watch it, big fans, but we definitely were paying attention. And then something disgusting happened, Jonny. It was really terrible. Zhang Weili came in, and she had her flag and whatnot. And
it was the intro, right? They were introducing all the fighters.
Bruce Buffer.
It was like the main fight.
It was the second to main fight. It was second on the card. Then Usman was fighting Masvidal, and then Zhang was fighting Weili.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and Masvidal from Florida, big Trump guy.
Yeah.
So they booed Usman, whatnot. Yeah. And people kind of compared the boos that Zhang Weili got to Usman. But we know we've been following the anti-China rhetoric.
Yeah.
And it was almost like they were booing Xi Jinping of China. They weren't even booing like Zhang, who's she's a competitor. She's great to the sport.
Yeah.
Good person, not cocky, very loving. I think she was caught off guard.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we can't play the clip because UFC is pretty strict on this, on showing any audio or video from the UFC. But you can see the tweet here of what Pasta said here.
Yep.
And
you want me to read it, my man?
Yeah,
you got it.
You can read it.
I would like to just say that the booing tonight of UFC Chinese fighter Zhang Weili in Florida was downright disgusting. Seriously, we need to do better. There is no excuse for this behavior.
And you put hashtag welcome to Florida because the reporter who was talking about it was like, well, we're in Florida. Welcome to Florida. And the other guy laughed. And
it was Rogan, and I can't remember the announcer's name, but they were even a little take back. They were like, well, they had to shrug it off and kind of go on. But I mean, listen, I've been to sporting events. I'm 48 years old now. I've been to sporting events all my life. I'm a sporting guy. When you hear a team get booed in another state or whatnot and stuff like that, there's still like kind of like friendliness to it. This seemed like it was not just racist, but geopolitically racist.
Yeah, it was weird. You're going to talk about this article that kind of references what was said before, right? I did do some research on it. Zhang Weili was, according to the New York Times, in China, she's like a symbol of women's rights and like a national hero.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then I guess if we want to show these tweets first before we get into this.
Yeah, let's do that because you're absolutely right. She was actually Tulsi Gabbard sparred with her.
That's right.
Tulsi Gabbard was in the ring with her and whatnot. And
they posted that on Instagram. It was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was gonna say a lot of people like how they give her shit saying like she's pro-Indian all the time and stuff like that towards the government. Well, India's number one rival geopolitically is China. So then here she is with a Chinese woman, standing up for her. So that I'm saying it's all about the rights and stuff. This is the one from the anti-censor. It says it's one thing to boo an athlete because you don't like him. But the booing combined with those USA chants, USA, tell you everything that you need to know about the effect of the anti-China campaign by both the Democrats and the Republican has had on regular people, meaning everyday people, working class people, people who might not be in the know when it comes to political nuance about the Chinese rhetoric that we've been talking about.
Oh yeah, no. A lot of people don't know about it. interesting. I was wondering which part of Florida it was in, and it turns out it was in Jacksonville. It was in Jacksonville.
I knew you're gonna see. We lived in Florida, right? So we understand how South Florida, where Johnny lives south, is completely different than where Johnny lives north. You know what I'm saying? North of him is really that that deep south. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's a little adage. I had to look it up because make sure I got it right, because we always said it back in Florida. It was like the further north you go, the further south you get, which is pretty true. But even Jacksonville is like a pretty modern, like big city, urban city, right? But I guess people around the area were probably coming in, and also just Florida being a red state in general, very anti-China. Well,
the pro-Trump rhetoric, the pro-Trump rhetoric about China being bad, sometimes it's going to have a negative effect.
Trump, Biden. Yeah.
It's going to have a negative effect. It really will.
Presidents, really. Yeah.
It is. It's true that it is across party lines. Now there's some people who like kind of agree with me on this tweet. The little video I put up got almost 6,000 plus video views. I got a decent amount of likes. Some people shared, some people agreed, some people disagreed. Now this is what this person says, and I just want to say, let's look at the other side of this, right? We've gone to games before. You've been to college football games. You know what it's like to boo the other opposing side.
Yeah.
But there was a difference here. This person from SCW, which is Steve, aka Slick. He said, soft as fuck. This literally happens in every sport when one nation is pitted against the other. In Brazil, they chant, "You're going to die," to the non-Brazilian fighters. Hashtag UFC 261, hashtag Jacksonville, hashtag China, hashtag Thug Rose, and hashtag Weili versus Namajunas, and hashtag Zhang. Your thoughts on this right here, buddy?
Well, in Brazil, they speak Portuguese, right? So I don't know how it sounds in Portuguese, but I know in Spanish, vas a morir. I mean, that's not really, it's not like as shocking as you're going to die in English, right? It's it's stronger. Like, it's more like, I don't know.
You mean you're not going to die is a lot more deeper and disgusting, I guess.
You're going to die. Saying you're going to die in English is deeper than like saying it in Spanish.
Okay. You mean the sound of it?
Yeah. Kind of like, people say that phrase all the time in Spanish and stuff like that,
Well, here's my thoughts, and I'm curious to what you think and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, listen, and sometimes in smaller places, third world countries, you know what I'm saying, you could expect that. And I'm not saying it's okay there as well, but as an American, I expected better. You know what I'm saying? I expected not bring our geopolitics into this situation and actually boo somebody where it's like I thought she could have been maybe a little scared. It looked like she was a little taken back. She did give a heart symbol, but I mean, imagine the fear that was in there. It seemed like it was set in there. Like, she didn't expect this.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't, being an ambassador, being for women's rights, being a symbol of like really just goodness of our country and stuff like that. For her to receive this.
Yeah. She's just like a top athlete in China, it's crazy. She's like one of the top MMA fighters in China.
Yeah.
And I didn't know China had we're there with the women's MMA. So that was great.
She's the champion until just recently.
Yeah.
Now there's something that sparked that, and this is where when I heard about this, and I heard about this after what Rose Namajunas did. She made a comment that said pretty much, and this is from the where's this by?
Daily Wire.
Thank you so much. Better dead than red. UFC star doubles down on the anti-communist remarks, and she is of Lithuanian descent, and they've had a bad feeling as far as ideology when it comes to communism. And in the middle right there, Oz, I'm going to read that, the middle part. Perfect. You got it up. Namajunas' family is from Lithuania, and she said that she has drawn inspiration from the documentary The Other Dream Team, the film that focuses on the 1992 Lithuanian men's national basketball team, which entered the Barcelona Olympics as an independent country after the fall of the Soviet Union. Namajunas recently told a Lithuanian outlet that the movie is a reminder that it's better dead than red, an anti-communist expression coined during the Cold War. She also said Zhang is red and that freedom is a huge motivating factor for why she fights. I'm going to let you get the first crack about this, about what you think that whether the context it means, where she comes from. How do you honestly feel about a person now making these comments?
Well, Pasta, she's not the first one to do this against Weili. And actually before, in the previous Vegas fight, the opponent that she was fighting back then, Joanna J. She has a crazy ass last name. She's a Polish fighter, and she had actually posted a Photoshop poster of herself in a gas mask next to Weili, and this was like right at the crux of the COVID-19, like right when it was happening. So it looks like I wouldn't say it's just specific to Namajunas here. It looks like just in general, it's like an imperialism thing where, you know, the U.S. Propaganda and Hollywood and Joe Biden's rhetoric and Trump's rhetoric and everybody's rhetoric and the Red Scare and all that has kind of made China to be the enemy of the people when and they try to insert it everywhere, it looks like, which is interesting. It's really interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny because we're talking about going out to Phoenix maybe for the audit, what's going on.
Yeah.
And with this audit, I'm starting to think, I'm like, wait a second, are they going to find like Chinese paper here that was used to kind of spark some type of, are they testing the waters to see if America is like really anti-China across the board to maybe manufacture consent for a war and stuff like that? So you see athletes who have been into the anti-communist thing. Trump talks about the anti-communist thing, which really just drives me crazy, the anti-socialist thing, because it's really not about like, you know, any ism. It's about getting poor people a working wage, getting them off the streets and whatnot. Yeah. That's what they really want. Yeah. But yet they kind of pit people against them and saying, well, these radicals out there, they want communists. Now you have fighters saying, you know, better off dead than red. I mean, that's kind of, you know, and I don't want to take away anything her family had to go through during occupied Soviet Union time and stuff like that, but it's a different time. Today is a different situation.
Yeah, and then in the New York Times, actually, Weili, she had an interview as well, and she said that, you know, she didn't take the bait of that because, you know, saying that when she said it was better red than dead, she didn't take that bait, and she basically said that we are just, quote, we are just athletes. And that her opponent isn't as important as she thinks she is. So that was kind of interesting, that response.
Taking the higher road.
And
that's why I love Zhang Weili. You know what I'm saying? She even gave the heart sign out like this before the fight. That's why I think she was so taken back. And she had a moment where she kind of put her hand up like, yeah. And Rose was like, no. Like to say, hey, some love there. And Rose was like, no. I don't know if that what it was, but if you watch the video I put up, you'll see it, and you can decide for yourself. I think that, and Zhang Weili was caught with a leg. If you don't know, Rose Namajunas, I can't even say. Let me look at Namajunas. I have to look at her name when I say it. Yeah. She caught her with a kick in the first round. Weili went down. It was over. It just seems so overwhelming for Zhang Weili. I hope she bounces back from this. Yeah, sure. I hope she doesn't take this in a negative response to see that like what the booing was from the crowd in Jacksonville doesn't represent all of us. I don't like that stuff. I understand sports. I'm a competitive guy. I've gone to a lot of events. Booing is accepted in a certain situation. But when it comes to this, it just seemed very, I don't know. I was very turned off about it. And 2 thumbs down for the Jacksonville people for doing that. You shouldn't boo. Yeah. Your final thoughts?
Well, yeah, you know, just kind of talking about it, you know, China, no doubt that there is a surveillance type of kind of state in China, right? There's no doubt about that. And some practices would be considered authoritative, but the U.S. in some ways is right there with them. We're in the surveillance state, the NSA. Yeah. You've seen it, how they're getting into Facebook. They're doing the surveillance through corporations, right? And then it's, you know, and the U.S. is considering more authoritative practices. You know, the vaccine passports were a thought. They've passed Patriot Acts. They've passed, and they've did they pass the Patriot Act 2.0?
I think so.
I can't remember.
Years ago, I think they did that too as well. They kind of amended it and called it the Patriot Act 2.0. Larry Nadler, the Democrat from Long Island, was the one who led the way. And you're right, Johnny. Listen, let's clean our own friggin' house, right? Let's worry about our own authoritarian problems instead of pointing the finger at China. China might have their issues, but I'm sick and tired of all these people biting into the bait that the reason for all our problems is China. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe they're pulling the strings. They're the guy behind.
Right.
We've said this before. This is within arm's length.
Right.
These are the predator class of the West that we need to take care of and stop pointing the finger and go, but China's, you know, they want to emulate that government. Like
they need the scapegoats. The predator class puts out their scapegoats in China and Russia. And, you know, Joe Biden has sent out warships out to the South China Sea. Yep. You know, like he said he would do in the
during the debate. We caught it. Yeah.
He said that, and he actually did it. So things have been heating up actually there in the South China Sea, but that's for another discussion.
Yeah, and once again, manufacturing consent for America to be in the South China Sea. Get out of here. Oz, you got any thoughts about that, brother?
No, I'm just enjoying the discussion. Thanks for having me in today.
Love your hair, Oz. You're the best.
All right. So
let's address some super chats and see what's going on. Not super chats because just thinking
Super
about
Rays.
this today, Super Rays. But somebody was asking me like, oh, so you're not allowed to just collect advertisement money on YouTube? I was like, not only that,
Hell no.
they've removed the mechanism for the people to support us.
Yeah.
The mechanism for the people to support us. If that ain't fascist as shit, well, it's just a private company though, Johnny, and my name is Destiny, and that's what I have to say. Didn't he get his ass beat by your sister this week? Trey Wright, thank you so much for the Super Ray contribution. Trey Wright in the doors
Trey
first.
Wright.
Giving some love. Hey, no offense, Johnny. No offense to Noah Fence. We love you. Thank you for the Super Ray contribution. And David Guevara. Keep it up, bros. That's the first bros we got. We're Rokfin bros today. Thank you guys for supporting everybody. We really do appreciate it. If you're on the YouTubes, get on over to the Rokfin, Rokfin.
Spider77.
Yes.
Doc Valiant. Jefferson Free Press. John to Emily, how you doing? Gina G. How do you say that one?
See, I stay away from those names.
You're Italian.
That's
Dobian.
Wait, Tobianoli. I can't even say it. R.I.P. Joe Rogan, he says. What do you mean? And by the way, these are love over from the YouTube.
From his commentary, probably. Or
from his commentary?
I don't know. On the match? I'm not sure.
I don't think he said anything that bad.
Democracy.
Like that. Listen, this one, I'm going to read this one chat over here in the YouTubes. L Mission. Rose is a good fighter, but not as good as Zhang. If you saw the fight, it was a shitty round kick that caught Zhang and knocked her down and knocked her out. The ref should have let
knockout.
And not knockout.
I think they got her in a headlock later, right?
Well, she went after and started hitting her, and the ref stopped it. The ref shouldn't have let Zhang recover in the fight.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Joe Rogan. It was legit at that point. She was hurt. She was stunned. You got to stop that, because if you don't stop that stuff, you know what I'm saying, a person can get hurt. You know when it's something funny? Remember when Masvidal caught our boy Ben Askren with the knee? Yeah. But then he went over and he got him 2 shots in the face, and people were like, why'd you have to do that? Yeah. Well, Usman got him, and he got his lunch handed back to him. Usman got him a couple times on the floor when he was down. Yeah. If you want to watch that. But yeah,
I didn't watch the fights, but
I watched those too. I just kind of watched the highlights and stuff like that. It was a very interesting fight, and I hope Zhang Weili will come back. She'll push past this. You know, she'll be bigger than this. She seems like she will be, and she'll get another shot and stuff. Who knows? I think that the thought process of the UFC going over to China would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Cool. I don't think what's his name, Dana White, would do that.
Maybe if the money's right, Dana White will be there. Reeve Barker, thank you for the super rec. Let's go on to the next thing. Okay, Johnny. So we're
gonna touch a little bit on this.
I get scared. I get scared. We talk about these things, but because this is something like, and it's so funny because somebody told me over the weekend, like, man, I can't believe this. Everybody's still believing in Russiagate. I'm like, yeah, that's why we got to continue to keep talking about it. Even though us in the bubble go, okay, we know Russiagate is bullshit. Yeah. We're done with it. We still got to talk about it because people still, believe it. And people still believe that the Russians, at the behest of Vladimir Putin, hacked the DNC servers. Yeah. A lot of us people believe it's different. A lot of us people believe it was Seth Rich, and Seth Rich paid with his life.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like, because guess what? The FBI released documents on investigation into the death of DNC staffer Seth Rich. You can see here this article that Pasta pulled up. This is new. There's 68 pages, a lot of them redacted. Mm-hmm. So these new documents got released. And then, as you know, Seth Rich was shot dead in the early morning hours on July 2016, near his home in D.C. The murder, which is unsolved to this day, fueled widespread media coverage, especially after WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange suggested that Rich was the person. I don't know about that.
Let's talk about that, because I knew you were going to bring that up too as well. Suggested, no, but we saw the video, right? Well, remember we saw the video, and after we saw the video, I was like, yeah, I know he didn't say anything, but he said enough.
Look up Convo Couch Seth Rich, and you'll see the video. He's getting Julian Assange is being interviewed by a French reporter, and the French reporter straight out asked him, "Was Seth Rich your informant?" And then Julian Assange takes a pause, nods a little bit, and then says, "We don't release who our sources yet."
Yeah.
It was like a literal pause. It was like a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then shook his head.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it was convincing to a lot of us. We've talked about it before. He didn't say it, but he said enough. So yes, definitely. Also, the new release files show that the top Department of Justice officials met in 2018 to discuss Seth's murder. They reviewed Rich's financial records and did not identify any unusual deposits or withdrawals. Additionally, none of the witnesses interviewed during the investigation reported to authorities anything unusual about Rich's life prior to the homicide. One witness saw an individual walking from the location where Rich was killed, but thought Rich was merely drunk and did not alert authorities. They realized something was bad had happened when they saw a blood stain on the ground and the same place the following day as the police tape surrounding the scene. A person who was named was redacted took Rich's personal laptop to his house, according to one of the newly released documents. The page indicates the authorities were not aware of the person deleted or changed anything.
So there was a
Rich's personal laptop, which they kept quiet. Nobody talked about. The mainstream media didn't investigate it. They didn't really first of all, we talked about the whole murder scene itself. This is the most secured area around. We've been to fucking DC.
Oh,
There's
my gosh. There's cameras everywhere.
There's no way they couldn't have gotten away with the person who did something.
The most secure city in America, probably.
Exactly. If not, I mean, now it's definitely might be the most secured area in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe some of the elites got some of the Fort Knox and all the wherever the gold is. They might have that on lockdown a bit harder, but it's ridiculous. And the fact that they didn't talk about the laptop that was taken over, the fact that they said it was a botched robbery. The dude had his phone, he had his watch, he had his wallet, nothing was taken. So somebody's going to shoot him and not bother to at least take the money or anything there.
Did they claim it was a robbery?
They claimed it was a botched robbery.
Yeah, they claimed it was a botched robbery.
To the story, botched robbery.
Yeah, so Pasa, why is it important to talk about this case? Because as you kind of mentioned, right, it was the whole debunking the Russiagate.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, this is once again that we've been talking about this the whole time. Well, it's not just debunking the Russiagate. It also kind of proves the fact that the Democratic Party can't handle their own lunch and they're not willing to change. They're not willing to change so much that somebody has to release all their information and show how they were conspiring against the progressives, against the people in the street, Bernie Sanders, the people like Oz and his crew and Roar Media.
Right? Did that email from Michael Kives come?
Well, that was a different email. That did come from WikiLeaks.
Okay.
But yes, it did show that they were saying, Tulsi, you're done. You're cut off. You're getting nothing from the established no more. Remember, she was the darling. She was the vice chair, ready to take over. When she first started, they put her in the Council of Foreign Affairs, which people don't realize. They're like, oh, her relationship to the Council of Foreign Affairs. Yeah, she was put there. She was granted that position. Her and Dennis Kucinich, and they said, no, we're out of here.
Yeah.
But it did show a lot of things. It showed about the way they conspired to make sure that Bernie would not win. Even the fact they would attack him. They tell everybody that they're anti-Semitic when they mention Israel, but they were going to attack Bernie Sanders and use his Judaism against him in the public image to count him, to shred votes from him.
I remember somebody telling me that in the 2016 convention that people were wearing like really like bad shirts of Bernie. Like it was like representing him like in a really
it was a communist artist.
Yeah.
So it was like they
represent him like a rat or something, right?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like that weird picture. His nose is a little bit messed up. They try to equate him as a socialist communist.
Yeah.
And it was the only Bernie shirt sold at the DNC convention, supposedly. I'm going to ask Melissa that.
Yeah, we got to verify that story.
But that's what the reporting was.
It definitely happened though. That was there. What was I going to say? The other thing that was important is that, the Podesta emails that came out of that, which we're not going to get into here.
Yeah.
You guys do your deep dive there. The word pizza was mentioned a lot. And that's all I got to say on that.
One other thing I want to point out, Johnny, about the documents, because I don't want to get too much into them, though. The stuff that's not redacted is the Manafort Roger Stone relationship. They still want to kind of put this notion together that somehow Donald Trump colluded with the Russians and Roger Stone and Paul Manafort, whatnot, through WikiLeaks to hurt Hillary Clinton's chances at the election. In other words, that Putin wanted Hillary to lose and wanted Donald Trump to win. So therefore he colluded all around. So they leave that notion out that made up story that's been debunked time and time again. And you can see the other areas that are redacted. It's like, what's
no, they redacted so much and everything's just like blocked out. It's like white squares over everything.
Yeah.
And the only part is about Manafort and Stone. And that's why I was asking you about Manafort and Stone, kind of like what their backgrounds are and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And some other things, but it's really not. It's really what the article says is that it really debunks the narrative that's the mainstream media had.
Yep.
It starts debunking, like their story's falling apart, basically.
Yeah. It should also be
because
scary.
at one point the FBI said it was the mainstream media reported that the FBI didn't even have any investigation into the Seth Rich murder. So.
Exactly. Like the FBI hasn't done it. It was just to debunk robbery, move along, get along with your life, forget, go ahead, live, work, get out of this. And that's what they tried to do. But now they're getting stuck. But once again, Johnny, we live in the United States of amnesia. People are going to remember this stuff. That's all they do in every single situation. They run out the clock. They let time go by so you get consumed with other bullshit. And you forget about Julian Assange. You forget about Seth Rich. You forget about what the DNC did. And then you concentrate on, Trump bad. And, therefore you're now voting for Biden, supposedly, as they want everybody to believe there because of the narrative they put out.
Now, Pasta, some people might say this is conspiratorial, but there are certain facts related to everything involved here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Related to Hillary Clinton, related to how Bill Clinton was on Little St. James Island.
Absolutely.
Lolita Express.
Absolutely.
Jeffrey Epstein turned out to be a real thing.
Yep.
If Jeffrey Epstein is a real thing, and the Clintons were definitely involved with Jeffrey Epstein, there's multiple pictures there, and with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I mean,
well, I don't know. Like I said, the people will choose to believe in what they want to believe. The FBI, the CIA, Operation Mockingbird, all this bullshit. When that CIA guy said, when everybody just doesn't, when the majority of people don't trust anything they read on the media, that's when we've completed our task.
And that was the operation.
That was the operation. Goes back to Mockingbird.
Yeah.
When they started implanting people within the, within the media. Now they own the media. Now the CIA is the media, pretty much now. So I mean, this is just another thing, and it is scary, Johnny, to say like, okay, whistleblowers, people who kind of get stuff out there, people who want you to know the truth. I used to say I don't give a shit if Vladimir Putin scaled down the wall MI6 style to seal those emails. He didn't write them. He didn't write those emails, and what's in those emails is what's really important, what people should be concentrated on.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So let's get on to the next subject. But first, Johnny, we got some super rays. Let's see who's out there. We have 260 people watching over on the YouTubes. Get on over to the Rokfin, Rokfin. We got 56. Lawrence Taylor watching. I'll let you say this name right here. Look at that name.
Chino Latino. Better read than not fed. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Chino Latino. Thank you so much.
Benny Massimo
received a tip from him. And T-Can, he says, awesome. Thank you. You are awesome too as well. 55 people watching on the Rokfin. We have almost 300 over there on that YouTube's 250. Let's get on the Rokfin, Rokfin. Johnny, I don't know if I've ever told you this before. No, I'm not going to say that I'm 66% Southern Italian or I'm a civil liberties guy, but one of the guys who inspired me to get more involved with politics was Bill Maher. Bill Maher was a crossover where he would have not only political characters on candidates or people who held office, but he had people in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So I watched Mos Def, who I loved at the time. He was going to be on Bill Maher.
The rapper, right? Mos Def.
Yes, Mos Def, Haseen Bey. And he was on Bill Maher. And it was awesome. And Bill Maher got me involved more with politics. I said, okay, I like this right now because here it is. One of the guys I like in Mos Def, he's on Bill Maher. And
this is like 2008 and stuff, right?
Way back there. Like even before 2008. Way back there. In fact, I saw Bernie Sanders on his show like in 2007. That's when Bernie Sanders was like one of my favorite guys. I can't even remember the date. It was a long time ago. But when I first heard him, I was like, is that Jackie Mason, the guy who does the voice of the Aardvark on the Pink Panther commercials? Like it was like this New York Jewish voice. Like, what are you going to do here, Aunt? I got to go do that. And then here's this guy, Bernie Sanders, is like, you got to fight for workers' rights. You got to fight for Medicare for all. And I was like, who is this guy? So even before Bernie Sanders was in 2016, I was on to Bernie Sanders way back in the day. Yeah. And then I started watching some videos of him and whatnot.
Yeah.
Bill Maher was a big, essential kind of like inspiration for me to like get more involved with politics and learn more and stuff like that. However, Johnny, when you're rich for a long time and you've been in Hollywood and you work in the business, you're in your own bubble, you're in your own echo chamber, and your mind goes mashad. Bill Maher said this shit on the show. Now, the previous week, he had talked about the left being ridiculous, the way they were covering COVID and the way they were not like letting news get out there and having conversations. And we were like, wow, Bill Maher, look at that. Maybe he'll get a little Peter Dow and come more on our side. But no, he went back to the bullshit. Listen to the propaganda and think how deep this is, Johnny, on the effect it has on Bill Maher's big audience and the people who watch.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
New rule 3 months into his presidency, it's time to admit that Joe Biden has been a huge disappointment to comedians. All the jokes we were stockpiling about ancient, doddering, sleepy Joe, useless. The man has been nothing short of sharp, focused, and completely on top of things. We were expecting a font of comedy gold about a senile geezer showing up to work in his pajama bottoms and plowing his motorcade into a farmer's market. Forget the dog, he was going to bite someone on the South Lawn. But a funny thing happened on the way to the old age home. Biden slayed the orange dragon and is now spearheading the most transformative administration since FDR, with an approval rating of 59%. Even the Joe Biden tics and gaffes that used to bug us, the hair smelling and the getting lost in a sentence and the challenging of random people to a fight in the parking lot. Gone. Biden stepped up his game. Yes, he got better at 78. What a mind-blowing concept that must be to the younger generations for whom writing someone off simply for their age is the last acceptable prejudice.
I see Oz shaking his head over there. Johnny, I want your initial thoughts on this right now. You've been doing this with us for a while right now. You understand the empire education, the propaganda. Tell me your initial thoughts on this so we can break this down.
Dude, that was wild. Gosh. The most transformative administration
since FDR.
Since FDR? A sharpen administration? What was it?
He's been nothing but sharp and on top of things. He stepped up his game, John. I'm not going to tell you anything he did, but I'm just going to throw out the propaganda there. Like, you know, what has he really done? And the fact that, like they said, all the hair smelling and the dog biting has gone away.
That's gone.
What? Because they've been keeping him in the basement.
No, it's ridiculous, Pasta. It's completely bullshit. It's completely propaganda. And, you know, people who the fams who watch our show and watch our audience who are, you know, you're smart enough to see that. I think most people are actually pretty smart enough to see that this is pretty propaganda.
I don't know.
It's pretty bad. Maybe not the neoliberals, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's really terrible, man. It's really this.
Remember when we went to the show when we went there to cheer Tulsi? It's a very neoliberal, privileged Hollywood, driving my Prius. I have plenty of money. I have to worry about anything really bad kind of audience. It's like that kind of like latte liberal. He really, I mean, I don't think he really convinced anybody who's not in the latte liberal bubble. And that's why I'm not so worried about it. But the fact is that he's going to really get these people to think that this way, that Joe Biden is done something. I mean, can you think of something that Joe Biden's done good?
I thought he was joking, Pasta. I really thought he was joking when he was doing this whole thing. Like it was an actual joke. No, it's kind of like he was kind of like, you know, fucking sucking his balls and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Bill Maher?
And he goes on to say, this is the thing. And I make this joke all the time in this house. Yo, guys, that's ageism. And I joke around about it. But the fact that they're saying that, they're really putting it on like, okay, you can't even criticize Joe Biden because of his age if you're younger and stuff like that, because you're participating in ageism. So it's even like a defense mechanism. He's even weaponized it, this speech, to say, just because Joe has lost his faculties, he's still old. And the fact that you're making fun of him, you know what I'm saying, for being old is no bueno, that you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And when I remember a lot of people tell me, you know, like, you know, Trump had more was more there than Joe Biden.
Absolutely.
Even like you and Fia have said it multiple times too. Like, it's like crazy. Like, how are they pushing this guy, Joe Biden, who can barely, he fell down the stairs.
He fell up the stairs. He's both ways. The guy's falling down. I mean, this whole campaign trail, we were looking at how many times when we were doing the debates, we would look at each other like,
no, dude. Yeah.
Please don't run this guy.
Really stumbled over his words, and they really picked the worst candidate. I remember the debates and everything, and the primary was totally rigged, like we said before.
Yep.
Anyways,
he also goes on to bash communism and socialism and make people just stupid for kind of questioning anything. He really is just like the the what do you call it, the PR management for the stenographers and stuff of media and everything else. It's
bad,
just disgusting.
Man. It's a good thing that you saw it though, and you're bringing it up just to show. Here's an example of what propaganda looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's fucking terrible, man.
Bernie first, AOC second, Bill Maher third. It's like and that's how bad this administration is, because when you look at it, really Joe Biden hasn't done anything. I've tried to ask people, what has he really done that really can justify Bill Maher's words over here for saying that Joe Biden has stepped up his game? And I heard somebody try to say, well, he recognized the Armenian genocide. I'm like, that's really nice. I recognized that in 1990 when I was 17 years old. It's now 2021, right? I recognized that before you were born, my man. And now you're going to tell me, oh, Joe Biden's done a good thing by recognizing it. The fact he didn't recognize it this whole time has been nothing short of just fucking PR and playing politics to the deep state and to all the military industrial complex by not recognizing that shit to our NATO ally, Turkey and Erdogan. So for him recognizing now, sorry, it's a little too late. And also this whole fucking now this infrastructure bill that's coming up, Johnny, you know it's going to be filled with pork bullshit, and it's just going to be a way to take money just like the Clinton Foundation and give it to their friggin' friends who are all the contractors who are going to sell the work short or charge 3 times the price. This freaking infrastructure bill will be nothing more than a giant fucking grenade, economic grenade. Forget about it. And you know what? They're not going to do anything green. They're not going to do anything green. They're going to be as dirty as and pollute the fucking whole planet when they try to put new roads and everything like that. They're not looking into new technologies or anything that are solar friendly or wind friendly or current friendly. So, I mean, I really can't even think about anything good that Joe Biden's done. Hey, Oz, can you think of anything that Joe Biden's done in quick 3 seconds? Go.
We're going to be carbon neutral by 2030. No,
I thought you were going to hit us with the Paris climate agreement is what you hit us with the other day, right?
Yeah. 220, 221, whatever it's not going to take.
Yep. I don't think he's done anything good, really. I can't think of one friggin' area where he's done something better than Donald Trump. Not to say that I want to go back to Donald Trump, but why can't we recognize that they're both garbage? And really, to tell you the truth, giving the keys back to the establishment was like, I think the worst thing that could happen. I think they should have been allowed to fall and be destroyed, so we can really have an opposition party to the ideas on the right, the populist right that the Trump people have. That we can counter them, talk civilized in a room, get all these freaking establishment candidates out of there and really kind of move forward in a positive way. But handing the keys back to the establishment, to Joe Biden, to Kamala Harris, to the Clintons, the Barack Obamas that are all back in charge, the Anthony Blinkens, was the worst thing we could have done. And that right now we're going to pay the price for it.
You know, it's hilarious, Paz. I was reading some articles about the South China Sea and what Biden was doing there. Yeah. And the CNN article was like, this is a new challenge for the young administration. And I'm like, what young administration? This is all the same players from Obama's administration. This isn't young people. What are you talking about? And Joe Biden's the oldest motherfucker.
He's been in office for like 48 years and hasn't done anything. So, yeah, I mean, that's a great point, too. And I think we just got to start paying attention to what's going on in the South China Sea, too, as well.
But yeah, I just brought that up to show that there's a narrative being pushed out there. Oh, don't worry about the administration. Oh, don't worry that, this is, forget about all the fucking hair smelling. That shit was creepy, man.
As is, yeah.
That shit was creepy.
They're saying 59% approval rating. I bet if you went around and polled all the Americans to ask them if Joe Biden is even in charge, 75% of them would say nope. Like somebody else is running something behind the scenes. There's no way that demented Joe is really making the thing. Remember, he said earlier this year, "What am I signing?" He said it. He said it out loud. What am I signing?
What am I signing?
Just sign it, Joe, and we'll give you cookies and milk after. All right.
And Kamala was like, just she like pointed down. That was
now
crazy.
he's
That was
starting to
funny.
come out more, a little bit more, because they realized the fact that she was talking to all the world leaders was like, wait a second, who's in charge here?
Yeah.
And look at all the dislikes on all of every single YouTube show
Well, that's why
for Joe Biden.
Well, that's why they got rid of the dislike thing, dude.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
Cultist,
Where are we going? Where are we going? This fucking country. All right.
Cultist Demon, thank you so much. A great tweet from Caitlin Johnstone. We love her. A left populist is someone who hates Amazon because it's an exploitive mega corporation whose monopolistic predation expands the permanent underclass of working poor while paying no taxes. A right-wing populist is someone who hates Amazon because it says Black Lives Matter. Wow. That's vintage Caitlin Johnstone. Yeah. War Deer Entertainment also says, just assume it's all propaganda and then be pleasantly surprised if it isn't. But unfortunately, there hasn't been much in pleasant surprises. Also, Bill Maher is an old sellout. Yeah, he's an old sellout, and he keeps solidifying and justifying our words and justifying our criticism. So that is that.
I remember in that Tulsi Gabbard interview that he did with her, it was there were some things that were off there. I don't remember exactly.
Is that a planted audience over there?
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? And we really got a smile on her face because we saw Tulsi's gums. That's how big she smiled. And if you see Tulsi's gums, you know she's got a big smile on there. She was not expecting that. Me, Johnny, Ungi, James Roguski, all the peeps that were involved. Galen was there. It was a bunch of Steph was there and stuff. Marissa was there, and Steve was there. It was all these people that were there. We just showed up, and there was 8 of us, and they put us in a section like up to the left, up to the left right part of the thing, like behind the camera, so you'll never see us or anything and stuff. Yeah, we were like right behind the camera. We were wearing our Aloha gear.
Everyone's wearing Hawaiian shirts and stuff.
And when she came out, we hit it loud, and she couldn't believe it. She was just like, "Wow!" It's like, we got your back, Tulsi. We got your back, Tulsi. Go get it and stuff. So, Johnny, just so we can make sure that we can get completely demonetized, what are we talking about now?
Okay, so guys, I just I put this in here for y'all just to show it, just for historical references here, that this is what popped up on my phone. A little notification popped up. It was like, the vaccine, here's some resources on the vaccine. Find out more about the vaccine. And basically this page, I clicked on more info and this page popped up on Twitter. So when I opened up my Twitter the other morning, and I'm like, what the heck is this? So I went through it, and I'm like, okay, so let's go through it. And okay, COVID-19. I'm just showing everything, just showing it. Vaccine effectiveness. There's a lot of tweets that they're referencing here, right? To build support for the vaccine, basically. Yeah. So the road. Yeah, so
they're trying to build support, legitimacy. They're trying to build encouragement. You know what I'm saying? They're using certain language about it.
Exactly. So you keep scrolling down. You see the WHO is in there. They talk about mRNA. The CDC is there. You got Kaiser Health News. Moderna's latest analysis of its vaccine clinical trial shows 900 people got COVID after being vaccinated, consistent with 90% or more efficacy for the vaccine. So there's that one. Then there's more CDC. I just want to show y'all there's some really weird things once you really scroll down here. That one with the 2 people there. It says you should still get the COVID-19 with the 2 blue people up top. You should still get the COVID-19 even if you had vaccine, even if you had a previous infection. The vaccine acts as a booster that strengthens the immune response. #vaccines work. So I'm just pointing it out. I'm not saying anything. I'm just pointing it out. Keep scrolling down. CDC. So what to do after receiving the vaccine? Keep going down. CDC. Okay. So they're referencing New York Times.
Yeah.
Okay. Very. There's never been anything wrong with the New York Times.
Oh, they're great. Just because they supported the Iraq war and weapons of mass destruction. All right.
All we're showing is just showing who they're sourcing. All right. New York Times. WHO, the New York Times again. They're worried about future variants is what that New York Times one says. Let's keep going down. Potential side effects. All right, so they get to the side effects. I was like, okay, let's see what they say here. So experiencing side effects after getting vaccinated means the vaccine is working and your immune system is responding as it should. That's interesting. And then let's see if we keep going down. Vax fact. None of the COVID-19 vaccines authorized and recommended for use in the United States contains the live virus that causes COVID-19. This means that COVID-19 vaccines can't make you sick with COVID-19. Did you know that? I didn't know that. By the way,
what the hell?
So we're learning information from this little Twitter feed. Okay,
yeah, gotcha.
All right. So WHO, CDC. Keep scrolling down. New York City Health. Let me see. Oh, the advice for pregnant people. So this is the one.
Yeah, here it is.
So here's the really weird one. So Mayo Clinic. Dr. Swift discusses why pregnant women should consider getting the COVID-19 vaccine. It's Mayo Clinic. New York Times. Mothers who have received COVID-19 vaccines are able to pass along antibodies to children via breast milk. Quote, I feel like I have this newfound superpower, said a woman who was sharing her breast milk with 5 other families. With 5 other families.
Oh my Lord.
just referencing what the New York Times is saying that Twitter put in there as a article in there. The WHO, now aligning with the CDC stance, says pregnant women may receive COVID-19 vaccines safely. We don't have any specific reason to believe there will be specific risks that would outweigh the benefits of vaccination for pregnant women. Just showing you what they're saying. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. That New York Times article.
Ridiculous. Where can we get some breast milk?
Yeah.
Does she got a PayPal? Can we send some stuff over? What's going on?
Let's see. Keep going down. There was something else I saw. Advice for vaccinating children. Keep scrolling down. It says, let's see. Yeah. It says COVID-19 trials for children are underway. I'm not going to reference any of the statistics about children who
don't
get sick from that. I'm just being careful here, guys. We have to censor ourselves here.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Okay, you're up to date. Yeah, once you scroll all the way down. I mean, showing it for historical references. This is all I'm going to say. I really wanted to point out that New York Times article, which was weird as hell. And there you go. So that's just a historical.
Yep.
A couple days. Put it out there. Not trying to get banned or anything. We didn't say anything for or against. And who they're referencing is there.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Talking to the media about that. But I don't want to talk much. You know what? I can't even say the names of the things because we'll be potentially, you know what I'm saying? But this is America. America. This is not America. To 5 different families.
Oz, I want to put it up one more time. Can we put it up? I just want to. So again. So New York Times: mothers who have received COVID-19 vaccines are able to pass along antibodies to children via breast milk. Quote: I feel like I have this newfound superpower, said a woman who is sharing her breast milk with 5 other families. There you go. All right.
And that's going to conclude our talk about the virus for the day, because I don't even want to push it in this. Oz, did you get your vaccine yet?
No, not yet. I have a procedure here in a couple of weeks. I'm going to wait till I get that done first. One thing in front of the other, you know.
Gotcha, brother. Gotcha. Just wanted to know. Anyways, that's it. I don't think we should talk about that anymore because I get like freaking crazy when they start talking about this stuff, and I don't want to slip up or say anything that would get us in any trouble. You want to say hi to some people on the YouTubes before we get out of here, Johnny? Cat Hackers there.
Kathy Worf, CJ, Dante the Demon, Linnea Cannon, Spider 77, Star Sirius. It looks like the connection was choppy for a second. That's weird. It got all choppy when we were talking about that.
Just saying. Just saying.
Joni Bug. Everybody, get on over to Rokfin, Rokfin. You see it. Where is it? Over here.
There it is. Yep.
The Rokfin link, the blue link there. Rokfin.com/the Convo Couch. Go there. Sign up. It's free to sign up. You just got to give your email, just like you had to for YouTube, right? Then, just join us and watch us there. It's free. So you don't miss out on our content. I also go live on the ground via Rokfin, because we don't know if YouTube will take it down. And we don't know when YouTube is really going to take us down.
We don't know. We just keep doing what we got to do and stuff. Oz, you got anything else before we get on out of here, brother? Or are you doing good?
I'm doing great. Thanks for letting me help you guys out today. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Oz.
We appreciate you coming on in, and that's our fams over there.
Roar Media.
Wow, like that. You should clip that up there. Roar Media, get on over there. Those are our brothers and sisters over there. Awesome people out there who've been joining us in the fight against censorship and the fight for Julian Assange. We got Shanda. I love her, the accidental activist. I was on the show last night with her, and Amber King. Great, you know what I'm saying?
Amazing people.
All those amazing people up there. Franklin. How you doing? We love you. And
our boy Franklin.
Of course, Oz over there, who's running the 1s and 2s today, man. So go ahead and do that. Help out our Roar Media fans. They're awesome. We love
check
to
them out on YouTube. They're on YouTube, and I believe on Rokfin.
They are on Rokfin, ROKFN. Here's the thing. If you endorse either one of us, you got a few extra bucks for $9.99 a month. You get our premium content and everybody else on the network's premium content. So you only have to do it once. If you can afford to do it, that means you get Jimmy Dore, Graham Elwood, Ron Placones, Niko House, Slow News Day. You get Misty and Jesse Zerwell. They have their show on there, Facts on the Ground. Jason Burm is here with the Burmese Brigade. Ryan Christian, the Last American Vagabond. Webb's on there. I mean, everybody's on there. Come on over to Rokfin.
The Last American Vagabond, which we interviewed and then subsequently got taken down for a week on YouTube. If you didn't know, that happened a couple weeks ago.
Yep. Great interview though, so go check it out.
It was a great interview. He's really smart.
That guy's he's one of my favorites out there. We call him Google's Most Wanted. So we're gonna get on out of here. For Pasta Jardula,
Johnny,
and Oz on those 1s and 2s.
Convo out.
There you go.